Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Thursday morning. It's May 31st, 2018, the last day of May. Wow, this is an awesome, awesome, awesome time. We're about to be in the summertime for real. Anyway, good morning. I pray that all is well with you today. I hope you had a fantastic yesterday. I did, so excited. I celebrated my 1 year anniversary on my job yesterday. It's really, really good. Um, just to know the difference a year makes. And it's really, really crazy because I was talking to someone yesterday and they reminded me about what I was going through last year as a way of celebrating. And I was just excited. Like, I completely forgot. It's funny how when things are going well in our life, that we forget where we came from a little bit. We forget the struggles sometimes. And no, you're not supposed to rehearse all your failures. No, you're not supposed to rehearse your fall downs. But it's good to remember. So that way you don't take things for granted and you still have a measure of compassion for other people. It's funny. My family and I were talking about how it's interesting how you'll see people who have been through the fire and they barely made it out the fire. As a matter of fact, they have some burn marks. They still smell like smoke a little bit. But as soon as they start coming up a little bit, they forget that. They forget the people who helped them. They forget the prayers that were prayed for them. And they turn into a different person as if other people don't deserve a helping hand, or other people don't deserve compassion, or other people don't deserve prayer or some latitude. And it's really interesting, and it bothers me, but at the same time it doesn't. It bothers me because every person has a struggle. You don't know how close you are to being in a situation. A lot of us are a paycheck to two paychecks away from being in a diverse circumstance, not diverse, but diverse, divers, situation and circumstance. We're that close to it. So we need to have a heart for people. And then I don't feel bad at the same time because I believe God handles everything and everyone gets their just reward, their just desserts. So it's nothing for you to put your mouth on or put your hands on. You just pray through everything and keep positive and stay encouraged. But yeah, so happy birthday to those who are celebrating birthdays. Happy anniversary. Congratulations on engagements, on marriages, on births, finding out that you're pregnant, being in a new relationship, being in a new home, having a promotion on your job anniversaries. Just congratulations. And for those of you that are going through it right now, trust me, my heart is there with you. Because even though there's a smile in my voice and a smile on my face, I go through it too. So please keep in mind when I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to me. I don't have it all together. Somebody asked me before, I know you're a life coach and I know you went through certification and you're for real a certified life coach. But still, what qualifies you to talk about what you talk about? So I want to answer that question real quick. What qualifies me is my life. I've lived it. I know it. You know how sometimes we say a person needs to go through everything before they can speak about it? Well, there's a lot I've gone through. So a lot of conversations we have, it's not what I've heard, it's not what I've seen, it's actually what I've lived. What I've lived through, what God allowed me to, allowed me and graced me to live through and accomplish and be victorious in, or even when I fell. So I can tell you about falling because I know about falling. I've fallen. So that's what qualifies me. Also, these are not the words that Andrea comes up with. This is definitely what God pours into me. It'll be on my mind. And I don't even have a set format for what I'm going to say, but it's what I hear to say. So yeah, that's what qualifies me. Somebody did ask me that, and I just wanted to answer that. Didn't want to be arrogant in it. I just wanted to tell you from my heart, honestly, this is what qualifies me to say what I say and to speak on what I speak on. All right, so today we've been talking about relationships for the last week and some days, and I want to continue the trend because it's what's on my heart right now. So we talked about you cleaning out your closet, being honest, real, and letting go past hurts, pains, bitterness, resentfulness, and all the anger and frustrations that you had in past relationships. We even talked about writing the letters to people who were in your life. And can I just put a pause right there? Let me tell you what's really funny, hilarious. You know, when you get into an atmosphere where you're talking about these things, God tests you. It's really funny. It's never failed to happen to me that I've actually been tested on things that I've spoken about. So I told you about the letters, writing to people who we felt abandoned us or broke our hearts or hurt us in any manner. And it wasn't just romantic relationships. It was any relationship in our lives. And again, if you have a chance, write some letters and get all those feelings out. And you know, we had a ceremony after we read the letters out loud. We cried, we spoke on it, we burned the letters and had another ceremony. You know, while the burning was going on, we felt a release and we talked about our feelings and things right then and there. So I was good, I was great, I was wonderful. But one of the hardest letters I had to write to get some real emotion out, I was good. I read the letter, I cried, I really cried, I mourned, I grieved, which I had not really done. And after we burned the letters, I felt freeing, I felt free, I felt capable of conquering mountains and jumping over hills. Well, the funniest thing happened. The person who I wrote the letter for got in touch with me like the very next day. Like, I wrote the letter and the person was on my phone. And it was the craziest experience because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I was just like, oh my gosh, why are you on the phone? And I had to address the letter. And why I said had to, because I felt oppressing. Like, I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about it. I actually was trying to get off the phone, not be on the phone. And I had to address the issue. And it's just crazy how the tests will come. So I just want you to be prepared. There may be some letters that don't need to be burned. There may be some letters you need to share with that person that did whatever they did to you, that hurt you, that harmed you, that abandoned you, that person. You may have to share a letter with them. You just never know. Good morning. You just never know what God's going to call you to do. So really be prayerful. It's very funny because there's some letters that have to be shared. Okay, so I say all of that to say you've written your letters, you've cleaned out your closet, your heart feels better, your mind feels better, your spirit feels better, your soul feels better. Now you've also taken the time to find out what it is that you want. What do you want in a relationship? Do you want somebody just to take you out from time to time? Do you want a boyfriend, a more monogamous, exclusive relationship? Do you want to get married? You know the things that you want. Now you've also taken time to figure out what you want from the other person. What are your standards? What are you willing to compromise? What are you not willing to compromise? What do you want? What don't you want? What should this person be like? Not look like, because we talked about the physical traps that we fall into sometimes. Good to have standards in what you want, but don't be so taken that if he's not 6'5", dark-skinned, chocolate brother, bow-legged, that you'll be okay with a 5'8", caramel complexioned, straight-legged man. You understand what I'm saying? Don't pigeonhole yourself like that. It's more about the inside of a person than the outside. So you've done that. You figured out what you are willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. Okay, so now, are you preparing yourself for the role that you want to be in? And what I mean by that, there's some things that you should do to physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually be ready for the person coming. I remember Denzel Washington said a long time ago, and I want to make sure I say the quote right. Opportunity is when preparation success is when opportunity meets preparation. You don't know when this person is going to show up. They show up at the craziest times of your life. You won't even want to date at that time. You might be so caught up in work or starting your business or writing a book, you're not even paying attention. You're not even looking for a relationship, and they just fall into your lap. The person just comes. There are so many stories of friends and people that I know that said their person came and they weren't even looking for it. Look at Ruth in the Bible. She was working. She wasn't trying to find a husband. Her husband had been killed in war. She wasn't trying to get another person. But as she was working, Boaz watched her, asked about her, introduced himself to her, and then basically married her. He took all the steps necessary. And she wasn't saying, hey, I'm single, ready to mingle. She wasn't doing that. She wasn't going to the club with her everything showing. She didn't do that. She was working. And it was while she was working that God sent her Boaz. So I'm just saying to you, you don't know when your Boaz or your Boazette is coming. So you do what you need to do to be prepared for it. You really need to have in mind, okay, am I where I want to be? This is when you do some self-awareness for yourself. You've done self-checks with the heart and making sure your mind and spirit and soul are all straight. But now, are you happy with who you are? Are you happy where you are? Do you want to lose a few pounds? Do you like the way your hair looks? Do you like the way your face looks? And I don't mean facelifts and all that stuff. I'm just saying maybe you want to do something with your eyebrows. Maybe, I don't know. This is all on you. But this is so you feel good with who you are. And it's not for another person. It's for yourself. What's going to make you happy right now? Are you good in the state of your life that you're in? Or do you want to go back to school? Do you want to seek another job? Do you want to move? Do you want to get a new car? Things for you. This is your time now to get comfortable in your own skin. To say, I'm comfortable, I'm great, I love me, I like me, I'm excited about me, This is your selfish stage. And you need to have it because until you are truly happy with yourself, until you're really accepting of yourself, until you're really in love with yourself, nobody else can be. Even if somebody comes, but you're not comfortable with yourself, they're not getting the best you. And we talked about giving people 50%, 60%, 70%, 20% of you. Not fair to them. So this is your selfish stage to say, hey, I want to start working out. Even if you don't need to lose weight, you should be working out. Why? Because of your health. What's your endurance like? Are you able to breathe? What are your lungs looking like? If you wanted to give up smoking, perfect time to do it now. Before the person comes, get yourself prepared and ready for the role that you want. Do you cook? Maybe take a cooking class and learn how to cook or learn how to cook different things. You just never know. Go traveling. You're in this stage of self-awareness, of knowing who you are and what you want. Go traveling. Go to France. Go to Greece. Take me with you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go to the Caribbean. Do different things. Take yourself on self-vacations. Yes, it's okay to date yourself. Now is the time to date yourself and find out who you really are. What is it that you really like? You already know, I always talk about Runaway Bride. She was so busy with so many different people, she didn't know who she really was. Every time she dated somebody, she liked what they liked, and she lost herself. And when Richard Gere got involved, he got to a point where he said, no, you take time for yourself. Learn what eggs you like. Learn what music you like. Learn what places you like. What hobbies do you have? This is this stage right now, the preparing of who you really are. Get to know yourself all over again. You've been through a lot. You've been through some relationships. You've been through some heartbreak. You've been through jobs that got on your nerves, family that has gotten on your nerves. You've been through some things. So the person you were born is not the person you are right now. Who are you? Do you know? Or have you been going along to get along? Take time now for yourself to prepare. Get you together. Go places that you may have always wanted to go and never gone. No, I'm not talking about your bucket list. I'm talking about things that you just enjoy doing. Go ahead and do it. It's time. It's time for you to get to know who you are and prepare yourself. So when the person comes, they don't have to say, well, who are you? What do you like? And you're sitting there like, well, I used to. Well, back in the day. No. You are present. And so you need to be in the present and say, well, I like going here. I like going there. I like doing this. And while I'm on the subject of what you like, really know what it is that you like. This way you don't waste people's time. And I was thinking about this. If you know that you don't want children, if you know that you don't want a person with children, and I don't know why this has been on my mind and my heart all morning, but it has been, be honest about it. That's not a compromising position. Let me tell you why. Because if you don't want children and you get with somebody who's never had children, you're going to be in an awkward stage when they tell you they want children because it's something you don't want. And yeah, we're supposed to compromise, but we're not supposed to compromise our comfort. Not really. because you still have to be comfortable. So what are you going to do with a man who says, I want children, and you don't? You wind up hurting him. You wind up getting hurt. So don't do it. If you want somebody who's never had children, who doesn't want children, or you've never had children, so you want somebody who's never had children, be clear on that. I was just thinking about it because there was somebody who was interested in me a while ago, and he didn't have children. And I stopped talking to him as soon as I found that out. Why? I have 3 and I can no longer have children. So how fair would that be to a person who doesn't have any, who wants them? Why break his heart later on down the line when we get together and he says, well, baby, I want to have kids. We're married now. And I said, well, I can't have them. Or we're engaged, or we're in love. That's not fair. So you need to be very honest when that person comes about what you can and cannot do. You need to have hard conversations. No, not when you first meet, not on your first date, but not too long after that. You need to start having those hard, honest conversations to find out what that person is looking for, where their mind is, where their heart is. So that way, there's some relationships that just don't need to work. Even if it seems like it might be a fit, even though it might seem like this is the one, when you start having those honest conversations, you'll find out. And be honest and be willing to let the person go. Be selfless in this part of it. Let the person go so that they can move on and find the person that's a real fit for them. I know no one wants to be lonely. It's not a great feeling, but I'd rather you be lonely than lie to a person and hurt them down the line and hurt yourself in the process. We're not trying to hurt anymore. We're trying to heal and do better. We want healthy relationships. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening this morning. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. It is Friday Junior. It was a short week this week. The weekend is knocking on the door. And I hope you have a wonderful day today filled with peace, prosperity, and productivity. Be blessed. I'll talk to you soon.